Here's the situation in England. As there is a push to ban, quote, conversion therapy, and no one that I know of anywhere in the world practices what the critics are talking about. Rather, what we're talking about is sitting with someone with unwanted same-sex attraction or gender identity confusion and helping them get to the root of their struggles. So let me just take you into some dialogue here with an evangelical leader in England, Peter Linus. He is the UK director of the Evangelical Alliance. So he wrote to Prime Minister Boris Johnson, warning that the conversion therapy ban Johnson supports in Parliament may criminalize everyday church practices. Quote, proposals to end conversion therapy not only put at risk the individual freedom of people who are attracted to those of the same sex, but they also place religious freedom in jeopardy. This is not a concern restricted to specific practices, organizations, or ministries that provide services to people experiencing same-sex attraction, although it will affect them. This will threaten the everyday practices of churches, church leaders, and Christians across the UK. He says an expansive definition of conversion therapy and a ban along such lines would place church leaders at risk of prosecution when they preach on biblical texts relating to marriage and sexuality. It would place ministry leaders at risk of arrest for encouraging young people to maintain chastity until marriage. And it would criminalize a member of a church who prays with another member when they ask for prayer to resist temptation as they are attracted to someone of the same sex but do not wish to act on it. Exactly. There's no exaggeration, not an ounce of exaggeration. So Prime Minister Johnson responds. You can actually see the letter where he responds. It's online. So Johnson says this: I absolutely want to end the scourge of gay conversion therapy, which has no place in our society. Now, again, in this exaggerated form that doesn't exist. I do, however, want to assure you that I take freedom of speech and freedom of religion very seriously. As the government made clear in 2018, when we first made our commitment to end conversion therapy, we all continue to allow adults to receive appropriate pastoral support, including prayer, in churches and other religious settings in the exploration of their sexual orientation or gender identity. Like you, I do not want to see clergy and church members criminalized for normal, non-coercive activity. Okay. So he's saying, hey, we recognize that. You come to your pastor. Hey, I'm struggling with unwanted same-sex attraction. Can you counsel me, pray with me? Absolutely. Johnson says we want that protected under the law. So this article on pjmedia.com points out that not all British lawmakers share Johnson's concerns. So Labour MP Angela Eagle wrote of Johnson's letter, quote, this proposed loophole is so large, there would actively be no ban on conversion therapy. LGBT activist group Stonewall also denounced Johnson's move. Conversion therapies are a form of abuse that leads to long-term physical and or mental harm for victims. We know that half of the conversion therapy practices take place in the UK are faith-based. So any ban that has loopholes for any type of practice, including religious practices, will leave vulnerable LGBTQIA plus people at risk of further harm, etc. Now, look at this. Matthew Heinemann, co-founder of the group Ban Conversion Therapy, took to The Independent, so a large UK publication, and he described his own experience, what happened to him, losing his missionary job because he was openly gay. And he says, for many, refusing conversion therapy means losing your family, faith, community, career, friends, your entire life. Those who resist legislation against conversion therapy often resist the idea of a prayer or a pastoral conversation being subject to the scrutiny of the law. However, if these things take place in an overwhelmingly homophobic or transphobic context, the pernicious power of prayer must be dealt with. There you have it. If you believe that God has a better way for someone who is same-sex attracted or struggling with gender identity confusion, and you say, based on scripture, we want to pray and help you find freedom and new life, that is the pernicious power of prayer, and it must be dealt with. You shall not pray. That's what's coming, friends. We've warned you for years. Those who came out of the closet want to put us in the closet. This is yet another example, but spelled out more graphically than I've ever seen. There you have it. Black and white in front of your eyes. Hey, friends, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, click on one of the boxes on the screen, check out another one of our videos, and be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a single video. You know, we discovered that about 60% of you that are watching our videos aren't subscribers. So subscribe today. doesn't cost you a dime. And if you want to support our work, Line of Fire, and all the things that we do, follow one of the links on the screen below.